Commissioner Coble, it's the end of your first year as Chair of the Board of Commissioners. It's been a very busy year. Tell us about some of the highlights for you.
Well, it's been really interesting to be chairman. Having been mayor of Raleigh and now serving as chairman, people often ask me, what's the difference? And it's really a matter of just different subjects that you deal with. With the county, you deal with health and human services, with the sheriff's department, with schools. And so there is some difference, and it's been really fun to get into those subjects a little deeper. Some of the things that we've done this year, the EMS consolidation, really proud of what we're doing with EMS. We have the Advanced Paramed program, and we're making some changes in that. We've been able to consolidate Six Forks EMS into the Wake County system, and I think we can provide better service to the citizens of Wake County because of that. Dr. Brent Myers and his efforts to improve the rates of recovery from heart attacks has been huge, the number of lives that we've saved. So I'm just really proud of the work that they've done and all that they've accomplished in the past year. One of the biggest challenges we've had this year also isn't in a program or anything that we've done per se, but really has been dealing with the economy. And to be able to hold tight on our tax rate, not increase taxes at a time when people would have a hard time affording that, and still provide services that are needed by the citizens of Wake County, has proven that our staff has really been able to step up to the plate and do a great job. And I'm really proud of the job that staff has done in dealing with the downturn in the economy.
Mr. Coble, what accomplishments do you think our citizens will remember the most about the last year?
Well, sometimes it's not only the things that you do, but the things that you don't do. We've tried not to put additional regulations on business. What we want to do is actually reduce the regulations and requirements that may seem unnecessary to try to help businesses open up more, have more opportunities, to be more customer friendly. That's been very important for us. We even made a change this year in one of our regulations. We removed what in essence was a tax on home builders. It was small, but it was a gesture on our part to say, look, we know our economy won't recover until you're working again, and if we can do something that will really help get you back into the job market and get you back into building homes, then we think that's important for us too. So it's that type of thing that I think we've really worked on that I've been very happy with.
The school board has been a big partner of ours for many, many years, and you've worked closely with them on some issues. Where do those issues stand right now?
Well, there's several issues that we've put forward to the school system. We're hoping that they're going to work with us on all four of them. We've had some success so far. One of the items was workman's comp claims. Both the county and the school system had workman comp coverage and dealt with workman comp programs. And so what we did was we combined those so that we could save some dollars for the taxpayers and find some efficiencies in the system. We've done that. It seems to be working well. It's taken some additional burden off of the school system because they're not having to pay for that now. And we'd like to expand that. We've started the process of taking over the real estate closings so that when we buy a piece of property, we can do it in-house. They don't have to pay additional attorneys to do that work and keep staff people themselves. So that saves some money. We're looking at risk management. We both have risk management programs. We're actually using the same insurance carrier to handle it. So if we can combine that together, once again, we think we can find some efficiencies and save some dollars. And lastly, I'd like to see us continue down the road of discussing letting the county take over the construction of schools. If we could take the construction piece back over to the county, there again we think we can find some efficiencies. We can build the schools better, more efficiently, less expensively, and save the taxpayers some dollars, and take that burden off the school board. So I hope that we can continue to work with that. I've been really excited to work with Tony Tata, the new superintendent this year. I think he's done a great job of really refocusing the school system on things that are most important. And I look forward to working with him in the future because I think he does a great job.
This year was not without some difficult times. One of the most trying times for many of our residents was in April when the tornado came through our area. Tell us what you remember about that day and the days immediately following the tornado.
Well, immediately following the tornado, Phil Matthews, who's the vice chair, and I went down to the Emergency Management Center and then actually went out with a couple of deputies, and the path of destruction was really unbelievable. And what was so unique about it was outside the path, you could hardly tell anything had happened. Inside the path, it was just absolute devastation. And to start down in Holly Springs, where they lost a fire station, and seeing the effect that would have on that community, and then following the path all the way through Wake County, you could see the homes that had been torn apart, the families that had been affected adversely, even school systems had damage. It was both sad to see the effect that that tornado had on our local citizens, and yet it was reaffirming to see the work that was done by our staff in dealing with those problems. What goes on in that emergency management center is something that I think every citizen should have the opportunity to see because of the work that's done. And Sarah, you were down there. You gave a lot of time and a lot of effort, like everybody else did, to make sure that response time was good, and it was, to make sure that people had those needs satisfied, and that we coordinated the recovery system. And so I can't say enough good things about what I saw as I went through. That's where the county really shines.
This year we saw some signs of growth. The county sold bonds. What do you see for the board coming up?
Well, the thing that's going to challenge the board, I think, in the next year or two is going to be the continued economic problems that we have in this country that come all the way down to the local level. People are struggling. Businesses are struggling. And we have to make sure that we can continue to do what we do, as I've talked about before, the services that the county provides, and do it without placing additional tax burden on people who are already struggling. That's going to be the real challenge for us because, as you point out, we continue to grow. So the demands on our services are growing, whether it's Medicaid or other health and human services, whether it's Wake Brook and mental health, whether it's the needs that the sheriff has for dealing with crime and running the jail system. All those have additional demands, and yet we're not really seeing the growth in revenue. And so those challenges are going to continue to be hard for us, and we're going to have to ask the taxpayers to be patient with us because we're going to have to make some tough decisions. We're going to have to prioritize how we spend our dollars. But I can assure the taxpayers that what we're going to do is we're going to put the most important items at the front and deal with those. The schools are important, the sheriff's department's important, dealing with health and human services is important, making sure that Wake Brook is a success and that deals with that population that has needs. All those things are things that we need to really focus on and make sure we're doing what we need to do.
We look forward to seeing you at future board meetings.
Well, I will definitely be there.